Riley doesn't fit the beauty standard of the male gaze, and that's why no one stood up for her, and that's just the truth.
There's someone that wants to be my adventure buddy, and it's someone that I can trust in and is going to be there for me. Okay.
If you have ever wondered why there's male loneliness epidemic, I think you need to watch this video, because I really don't know why these men none of them actually were interested in this particular lady. There's this dating show, right? This is the first time I'm even seeing this particular dating show. The one I'm used to is the pop the balloon and question and all of that. But this one, a woman is going to stand up and introduce herself and try to sell herself to the group of men. And I feel like they're going to respond by talking, I don't know, or standing up or something, I don't know. But anyway, after she sold herself, saying how she's adventurous, how she want to travel around, and she needs a man that is going to match her energy and all of that. The men in the video, the men at the show were just lost. Let me show you all the video, then we'll be back.
I'm Riley. I'm 24. I'm from Houston, Texas. And honestly, I'm down for any good adventure. I just got scuba dive certified, and I'm planning to go to Australia this summer, so I'm super excited about that. And then I just picked up skiing like 2 years ago. And I honestly love any themed party. Like, those are like my favorite things to go to, my favorite things to plan. And I'm looking for someone that wants to be my adventure buddy, and it's someone that I can trust in and is going to be there for me.
Aww.
If any gentleman would like to get to know Riley more, please step forward.
They're nervous. They're scared. They're so scared. Come on.
Hey Riley, we're gonna have you sit down, but thank you for introducing yourself. We're gonna have you sit down, but thank you for introducing yourself.
I think I probably shouldn't have gone up first. But I mean, I put myself out there. I'm proud of what I put out there. It kind of is not the best thing when no one stood up. Like, it is a little frustrating. It feels like no one ever wants to like pick me. Not that I want to be a pick me girl, but it is nerve-wracking, but it happened and it is what it is.
Why do you think they did not pick her? Nobody actually decided to be like, okay, I think this is my dream girl. Why do you think there's not? People are saying because of the beauty. For me, she looks good. She looks good. And I feel like it's not even the beauty. I feel like that things that she was saying, it feels like a lot of work for these men. And you know that these men, they don't want to do anything. They just want to lie down and you do all the work. So you telling them that you have to be going on an adventurous trip and all of that, they're like, what kind of stress is that? They are not interested. And the fact that they have to look at each other to be able to decide if they're going to pick her or something says a lot about how these men always look at their friends to be like, okay, should I go for this girl, or do you guys think that this girl is good? They always look for validation from their friends. That says a lot. You guys, I have your reaction on this video. Let's watch this teaching together. But I'd like to know your thoughts about this video down in the comment section, respectfully, as always.
Riley doesn't fit the beauty standard of the male gaze, and that's why no one stood up for her, and that's just the truth.
There's someone that wants to be my adventure buddy, and it's someone that I can trust in and is going to be there for me.
Aww.
If any gentleman would like to get to know Riley more, please step forward.
Riley is also physically attractive and has a lot going for her, so why didn't anybody stand up for her? Riley doesn't fit the beauty standard of the male gaze, and that's why no one stood up for her, and that's just the truth. And that's because of the desensitization of social media and dating apps. Think about it like this. If you've only ever seen 3 types of chocolate, and no matter where you go, you only see those 3 types of chocolate, picking a chocolate bar doesn't seem that hard. But what if we added 1,000 different types of chocolate bar? Now, picking a chocolate bar becomes a little more frugal, and that's what dating's like today. Like, nothing's wrong with a Hershey's bar, but why settle for a Hershey's bar when I know I could be getting a Dubai chocolate bar? Most of us are attractive to a lot of people, but it's very hard to tell today. But social media has opened our eyes to the wonders of liking and wanting a fancier chocolate bar, where a Hershey's bar just doesn't cut it as an option, or at least a first option.
This is what we mean when we say that men are homosocial, and this is why there is such a big gap at the moment between men and women.
I'm Riley. I'm 24. I'm from Houston, Texas. And honestly, I'm down for any good adventure. I just got scuba dive certified, and I'm planning to go to Australia this summer, so I'm super excited about that. And then I just picked up skiing like 2 years ago, and I honestly love any themed party. Like, those are like my favorite things to go to, my favorite things to plan. And I'm looking for someone that wants to be my adventure buddy and it's someone that I can trust in and is going to be there for me.
If any gentleman would like to get to know Riley more, please step forward.
They're nervous. They're scared. They're so scared. Come on.
Hey Riley, we're gonna have you sit down, but thank you for introducing yourself.
The men made it clear they could not care less about Riley. They were not actively listening to her, and if they were judging her. They were all just looking at each other, trying to figure out what the best response would be, how they should react. And what did they choose? They chose to sit there and laugh. They chose to act like mean little bullies. The concept of homosociality describes and defines social bonds between persons of the same sex. It is, for example, frequently used in studies on men and masculinities. In an attempt to emphasize heterosexuality, fear or hatred of homosexuals and misogynist language are developed. The concept is often used to analyze how men, through their relationships and social bonds with other men, construct power blocks and protect male territory and privilege. I have no doubt that if all of these men were separate and listening to Riley, at least one of them would have shown interest in her, would have been behaving completely differently, appropriately perhaps, but in front of each other, they decided to make her feel small, unheard, and belittled. And that is the difference between men and women. The women were actively listening to her. There was zero judgment. They made sure she felt okay and supported when she sat back down. You can tell that all of these girls just thought Riley was cool. Any one of these girls would have been happy to have Riley as a friend. Perhaps some of the men thought she was cool too, but they decided to put theirs and each other's egos first.
Okay, I'm Riley. I'm 24. I'm from Houston, Texas. And honestly, I'm down for any good adventure. I just got scuba dive certified. I'm looking for someone that wants to be my adventure buddy and it's someone that I can trust in and is going to be there for me.
If any gentleman would like to get to know Riley more, please step forward.
This moment says a lot about how masculinity is policed within group settings where we have males, together. People fail to realize is some men more often are homosocial, meaning that their behaviors and validation is geared towards other men, not women. Why it's very easy for them to dismiss women, warmth, bubbly personalities, and interest, and you can tell they were all looking at each other, signaling that they don't want to be the first guy that shows, I want to be interested in this type of girl because it's going to make me feel a certain way and make me look a certain way within the group, because they value a lot about what these other men think about them. And it's less about the value of what obviously Riley is bringing. Obviously she's very bubbly, expressive and sweet and kind, but more about the validation that these men are getting in that room for them not acting up on actually approaching her. And many times we see other men choosing male approval over human connection because deep down they desperately crave it.
Okay, I'm Riley. I'm 24. I'm from Houston, Texas. And honestly, I'm down.
So guys, you've obviously seen this video by now and it's been going crazy everywhere at the moment. And it's such a terrible video to watch, man. Like seeing her present herself and then none of the guys come forward to, carry it on. And look, I'm not being thick, yeah. I understand that if the roles were reversed and it was a guy getting rejected by a bunch of girls, it'd be completely normal, rah-de-rah-de-rah. But that's the reality. Guys would get rejected by girls. That's just the reality of life. And that's why I don't like these dating videos, especially the segments where it's the girls presenting themselves to the guys and then the guys deciding whether to come forward and take it further. Because that's not the reality, okay? We're not living in some fantasy land where women pursue men. Men, we're the ones who are the pitchmen. We're the pursuers, okay? Women are the ones who are the selective, right? They select who they think would be a suitable match for themselves. Because Riley, yeah, she's not unattractive. She could get a boyfriend if she wants to easily. This video is so unrealistic, okay? She should have never been in a position where she's presenting themselves to the men and then the men decide. That's not how reality operates, okay? I just can't stand these videos, man. It was just so sad to see her present herself and then none of the men come forward. That's not how it works, bro. We need to stop normalizing this, man. It's actually harmful for men, women watching this stuff, especially younger generation. They're gonna think that this is how dating works and it's just not, man. It's unhealthy.
Such a throwaway post, but you know that clip of that girl Riley that's going viral? This girl, she's on a dating show and none of the guys decide to go on a date with her.
every take I've heard on here has been about what she looks like. And y'all, here is the wide shot. Those guys cannot see her. They can't see her. They are not judging her based on appearance because they can't see her appearance. So the takeaways here have nothing to do with how she looks. However, I do think there are some takeaways, right? How did she sell herself? She mentioned she had recently gotten scuba dive certified, planned a trip for herself to Australia, had learned to ski 2 years ago, and loved to throw themed parties. That themed party line got a lot of eye rolls from the guys, like that's too nerdy for them or whatever. And also, I think while a lot of dating profiles will say they want someone adventurous, athletic, etc., that's just really code for a certain body type. Whereas what she is talking about is being actually adventurous, actively going out there and getting certified and planning a trip and learning athletic things you've never done before. That on paper, right, you'd think that would be a selling point, but no, because people put that and say that what they really mean is a certain body type and they want to hear that you're in the gym, right, that you're in the gym. They don't actually, these guys don't actually want someone adventurous. And you see in other clips, like when a woman says her hobby is cooking, they light up, right? And this is in Provo, Utah. This is a very traditional gender roles type of culture. And even though in clips, both men and women complain about that, and the men complain like, oh, these women, they want to settle down too fast, etc., they are reacting in very sort of traditional role ways. They are still looking for these very traditional things. So if she had said that she's in the gym 5 days a week and her hobby is cooking, I think they would have had a very different reaction. Because at the end of the day, these guys don't actually want someone who is truly adventurous. And she deserves to find someone who is as fun as she is. She sounds fun. She sounds awesome.
I don't really like dating shows. I don't like those reality shows. I don't like Pop the Balloon and, where they're looking for love. I don't like any of that because it seems really unnatural. So when I see these types of things, I scroll past it. But I decided to watch this clip. It's just a really short clip. This woman named Riley is talking to a group of men, and she's telling them all of the things that she likes to do. And she seems really excited about all of these things that she likes to do. She just got certified in scuba. She wants to go to Australia. She's going to go exploring. She's like, I am down for whatever. And she seems really excited about it, a genuine spirit. As Riley is talking, these men are looking around. They're looking at each other. They're laughing at this woman. They are so disinterested. The women behind her are actively listening to her. Their body language is the same. They're not looking at each other for approval. They're like, oh man, Riley seems like a fun girl to hang out with. So they look like they're really trying to be her friend. And the dudes are like, I'm not interested. These are some of the comments that Girl Boss, this content creator, pulled out. Scope 360 says, she looks like a dream and thinks like a dream. Is there a loss for losing her? Hanny says, I saw someone say she didn't list one thing men are looking for in women, and that's pissing me off so bad. Women can't have interests and hobbies outside of what's desirable to men. God, I hate people sometimes. Allie says, people are terrified of being genuine these days, so when they encounter it in someone else, they run for the hills. I hope this girl finds someone she deserves. Echo says, I love her, but outside of that, all of the men here are desperately looking to each other to figure out what the cool response to her would be. They're unable to think for themselves and just going with the crowd. I hope all of the women in the room noticed it too. This person named Lucas brings in a different dimension that I didn't realize. He says, so many replies saying, let's be real, men are superficial and she's just not hot. Would be totally different if she looked better. And then he says, but the format of this show has a wall between the men and women, so they can't even see her, laughing my butt off. They're reacting entirely to what she's saying. So what he's saying is they really don't want women that have a bunch of different interests and just sound fun. Maybe that sounds like too much work. Maybe that sounds expensive. I don't know. But like I said, the way she was talking is like, oh man, if you're young and you have the time to go do that kind of stuff, Go explore. But yeah, you have to find somebody that is equally excited about doing those types of things. Otherwise, it will be a drag. These are some of the comments that are underneath the Instagram post. Becca says, respectfully, I'm in love with Riley. The rogue socialite says, same. I date her and take her to all the themed parties. Beth says, girl, leave these little boys alone and go find you a hot Australian man on that summer adventure. Gigi Smile says, I'm telling you, us girlies need to start looking outside the United States. Corinne says, I agree with the take that the men were looking for cues from the other men. They're more concerned about performing for one another than they are about connecting genuinely with a woman. Then Boudica at the bottom says that part. I'm more and more convinced that men care way more about what other men think about them than women. I'm not even sure they like women that much, but want mates that other dudes will approve of and be jealous of. I wanted to get to this comment right here from Britt. She says, what continues to radicalize me? Seeing the things like the stark difference in the way that the women were more attentively listening to Riley than any of the men were. They were, and now, even though now I know that there's a wall, the fact that the men couldn't even really be bothered to engage with what she's saying and actively listening. They were looking at each other. They were just looking off. They're disinterested. And, scuba diving may not be for everybody. Themed parties may not be for everybody. But they weren't even actually trying to listen. I don't know. That's just what I'm seeing, but you let me know what you thought about this interaction.
As I said earlier, this is my first time seeing this particular dating show. So I don't even know there's even like a blind. So the other party are not going to see each other. So they're not even seeing her. So definitely we're judging her based on what she said. Based on what she said. That's exactly what they were like. You know what? I'm not going to put in this much work just because I want to date a babe or something. They are not serious, okay? They are just unserious. It's just, in fact, if they said male loneliness epidemic is rising and all of that, let it rise, because these men are not ready for a relationship. They don't want to put in any work. They are like, what do you mean you want to be adventurous, you want to travel and all of that? And the fact that some of these men actually see traveling as something a big deal for a woman, like a lady traveling all around, they see it as probably you're doing, smex work or something. If you tell somebody you travel all around alone and all of that, so people look at you, probably you're going to see a man. They don't really trust their woman traveling alone all around the world just like that. There's a lot of things. And the fact that I feel like there's one person in that place that might feel like he might be interested. But the fact that everybody's looking like, is it going to be you? Is it going to be you? It doesn't want to, so that they're not going to laugh at him. I personally feel like there'll be somebody there that will be like, this is not bad. This is not bad. This might be what I want. But he's afraid to talk about it. He's afraid to raise up his hand, or he's afraid to come out and say, this is my girl, because none of the guys are feeling the girl. So, and I feel like this is reality of how these men actually view women. Most of them are not with a woman because they genuinely like her. They are with her because they want to boost their ego around their friends, around their family. They want to be like, okay, you got this girl. Definitely, I have to respect you. Because most men respect each other based on the kind of woman that they have, right? So if most of your friends don't like the woman that you have and they are not feeling her, it's not like, I stand that kind of woman in their own take, they might not respect you. And these men are very big on this, their ego thing, right? So that is why they always, look for validation and all of that from their friends. So this particular video says a lot about these men when they pick kind of women that they want to date. They only pick the ones that they feel like their friends are going to love. They only pick the ones that they feel like once he walks around with the girl everywhere, everybody's like, sa, your baby is good. I feel like that's exactly what is going through their head, because really, and I personally do not enjoy. I don't think this dating show thing makes sense. Imagine her looking good and look at the guys there, okay, and I don't know. I just like this dating show sometimes. It might make her feel somehow. She might feel like, oh, nobody wants me, nobody, and that's not true. That's not true. This dating show for me, I don't know. Like, I don't feel it like that. I just feel like that's not the right way to meet somebody. But then a lot of people have met each other at this dating show and they've gotten married and all of that. They've, been with each other for years. They're enjoying their relationship. But then the way these men kind of rate the women there, I really don't enjoy it. Especially those pop the balloon ones. It's crazy. You guys, what's your take on this video? Let's continue conversation down in the comment section. Respectfully, as always, your girl Mariah David, and thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please like and share and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one.